Hey all, welcome back to another Mini-Sode, where today we'll be continuing our adventures with Mr. James Bond in Everything or Nothing. Like the previous games before, Everything or Nothing is an original story starring the super spy, where this time he is tasked with stopping a former KGB agent named Nikolai Diavolo, who plots to overthrow Russia and then Europe with the use of nanobots created by Dr. Katya Nadanova. With the aid of Serena St. Germain, a geologist, Bond must travel the world and stop Nikolai at all costs. As I've stated before, if you're a fan of the Bond films, or at least have seen one of them, you kinda get the idea of how the story goes, and it still applies to the games. However, Everything or Nothing is actually an improvement over Agent Under Fire and Nightfire, mostly due in part to the fact that it was treated as it was like an unofficial Bond film, complete with a star-studded cast, which I'll get to in a minute. For Everything or Nothing, EA decided to pull the camera back and put 007 in a third-person shooter, although his first-person trappings still remain, like melee attacks and tons of guns and gadgets. However, being in the third person now gives you a lock-on, allowing you to aim at certain parts of the enemy if you want to disarm or go for a headshot, although I have to admit the lock-on can be a bit clunky at times. Bond moves also make a comeback, rewarding you for pulling off amazing action pieces which go towards that platinum medal, which is how you unlock characters and cheats. And of course, no 007 game would be complete without driving sections, and Everything or Nothing truly delivers. They're pretty much the same as before, with the goal being to race to an objective while taking out enemies using cars, motorcycles, and copters to name a few, although some of them are actually in a more open world setting. There's not much to really say about them except, well, they're still pretty fun. With multiplayer, Everything or Nothing has 4 modes to choose from. The main mode is co-op, where you and a partner tackle a campaign of missions together, similar to the co-op found in Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, with some connections to the main game. Scramble mode has you playing the same co-op missions with a friend, but now you are competing to get the best score. Race has you both trying to beat the level in the fastest time, and Arena is your standard deathmatch mode but can be played with up to 4 players. But be warned, you can't play much in multiplayer until you play through most of, if not all of, single player. The co-op's pretty good and will keep you and a friend entertained, but the other modes are just okay and you'll probably play them just once. With the exception of the clunky lock-on, I didn't have anything bad to say about Everything or Nothing. The third-person POV was a great choice for Bond, and just fits his gameplay a lot better in my opinion. Visually, Everything or Nothing looks really good, with EA flexing that financial muscle. The stages you traverse through, going from the Middle East to New Orleans, Peru, and Russia, look really good, showing a major improvement from Nightfire. Of course, you're not on the moon, but hey, you can't win them all, right? Going for that cinematic feel, all main actors lent their facial likeness to the game along with their voice, with Willem Dafoe as Nikolai.
Out of these microscopic machines, a giant empire will grow. Building on your research, we've improved the nanobots, altering their makeup with fungal spores found only here in the Louisiana Bayou, turning what was conceived as a blessing into a curse.
Heidi Klum as Katya.
You saved my life. How can I ever repay you?
Allow me to take you to dinner. Next time you're in London.
I'd like that. But until then... take that as a small down payment.
Shannon Elizabeth as Serena.
What are we gonna do?
You're gonna take cover near those tanks.
And you? What about the guards?
I don't think they'll mind.
R&B singer Maya as NSA agent Maya Starling.
You're awfully sure of yourself, aren't you?
Well, I find that a positive outlook is helpful in our line of work. Don't you agree?
It can't hurt. Let's go.
And film series regulars Judi Dench as M.
003. He was in Peru investigating Nikolai Diavolo, a KGB agent so ruthless that the KGB itself tried to have him terminated. Unfortunately, they failed.
John Cleese as Q.
Have some new equipment for you. Have you met my new assistant, Miss Nagai?
I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
And you won't if I have any say in the matter. Now, pay attention, 007.
Richard Kiel as Jaws,
Talk about this. I guess not.
and then the current Bond at the time, Pierce Brosnan. Now, Mr. Brosnan did lend his face to Nightfire, but now in Everything or Nothing he actually speaks the role as well.
At last we meet, face to face, Mr. Bond. I've been looking forward to this, ever since you killed Max Soren.
Then I assume you're looking forward to suffering the same fate.
Pity you're not as quick with your gun as you are with the car.
What did you do with the girl?
She's being taken care of.
Help! Get your hands off me!
Too bad, Mr. Bond. By winning that race, you lost your life and hers. Good night.
Prepare to die, Mr. Bond.
You first.
And music? Well, just like the previous 007 games, Everything or Nothing's soundtrack is an awesome techno-orchestral blend that mixes in the famous themes, as well as an actual theme sung by Maya. With Everything or Nothing, EA set out to make a game so Bond-like that it could be considered a film with its own merits, and in my opinion they succeeded. Moving the camera to a third person was a great move, and while I don't hate the first-person shooters involving 007, I just had more of a blast with this one. If you're a fan of Bond, and or third-person shooters, definitely grab this one if you see it in the wild. Now, for Bond's next assignment, EA would turn to the past and make one of 007's most memorable films into a game itself. But we'll have to save that one for another time. For now, this is the Dali Popka saying, thanks for watching and stay green everyone. See you next time.